Aloha.
Hi, and welcome to episode 1 of Who the Fuck Did I Work For? So, because I'm unemployed, this is my content now. So if you like content like this, like, share, subscribe. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that little bell notification. So this is the creator of the pod. This is
Holder Walker. Hi. It's my first time seeing you. Aloha. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, and subscribe. And just grab a popcorn and just relax. Hope you have a wonderful weekday.
This is Randy Rosario, Mike the Poet, Trip Fontaine, Fine Ass Keita Rose, and Mojo Dojo! A lot of you guys are like, well, I don't care about this bitch or that bitch. Where's my favorite? Oh, shit, there she go to your favorite. She be dropping them gems. This is Kitty Rose. She got Randy out quick, fast. She said, I want your spot. How can I manipulate everyone to get it? I'm going to detail that, though, in the following episodes. It's going to be like 500 episodes. Uh-oh, bonus feature. This guy says he used to be with Kitty, but that can't be true because it would have been around the time she was married, and she can't stand side bitches, and she can't stand cheating women. Ho, the drama, the tea. Hope we all heal. Hi, and welcome to episode 1 of Who the Fuck Did I Work For? So, because I'm unemployed, this is my content now.
Okay.
So if you like...
That's part 1. She's very animated. Again, if you want to subscribe to her TikTok, Keita Rose. Yeah, so it's pretty good. I'm going to leave that in the description too. Thanks everyone for being here. Again, aloha. So that was pretty good. So let's get started for part 2, okay? Because, again, I don't know these people. So I want to get to chance to learn different people.
Hello, and thank you for watching part 2 of Who the Fuck Did I Work For? I just want to address a few things that have been really pissing me off. Number 1, I'm not one of those friends that fall out with a friend and tell their business. These hoes actually never liked me at all. This isn't a hurt people situation. This is a you fucked around and now you're gonna find out. A lot of you are saying, this seems a little one-sided, Keita. Right, because I'm the only one talking. So, since your faves get paid to speak on a daily basis, they should have no problem speaking out. Before it was tonight's conversation, live and uncut, it was tonight's conversation, love, sex, and relationships. The tour. I had never been on tour before. I was content creating and working HR at Kraft Macaroni and Cheese. I was HR there. By the way, since we're doing this, y'all probably shouldn't be eating that shit either, but if they sue me, they're gonna take my son, so I best be shutting that ass up. But I got to meet some really great people. I met the very talented Jay Martinez, the very funny TC Caldwell, the really beautiful and talented K-Love the Poet, and Joe! Look how happy I am. Stupid girl.
Why is she calling him Mojo?
This healed, emotionally mature, ready for marriage man. Honestly, the show was a vibe. It was a vibe. It was intimate. It was positive. I had millions of followers. TC had millions of followers, but he lost his page. And when he lost his page, Mojo Jojo said, you're no longer valuable. Goodbye. This is my best friend. And the reason why I'm in this fucking predicament, she was following Mojo Jojo and couldn't believe he picked me to be on tour. So when Mojo Jojo hired me, he said that we were going to make a lot of money because he had done a lot of shows. This wasn't his first show. This was my first tour, but not his. He used to be on tour with, who's that? Apparently it started out a card game, but then they moved it to making content and then moved it on the road. I don't know. So one of the products sold on tour that made the tour and made him so lucrative is his card game. But word on the curb, allegedly is this was not his idea. A little birdie told me that the card game was his idea, but he just didn't know how to market it right. Good thing Mojo Jojo is a master marketer. Ooh.
Hey, if you know the name of Mojo Jojo, just let me know. Let me tell everyone aloha. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe. Oh, I need to do something for my Twitch. So I'm streaming from multiple platforms today. Let's see. I need to grant Twitch permission to do something. Okay, good.
Unfortunately, this is going to be the end of part 2. But don't worry, we're going to give you a sneak peek of what's to come in part 3.
That's what I'm telling you. Why? Wait, so y'all men really don't like getting y'all asses ate? No. Man, for what? Y'all better be glad I ain't no oh shit. Cause I put these niggas after I be making ass. I like for men to pee on me. Okay? In all true honesty, it's something about that stream hitting that.
Hello, and thank you for watching part 2 of Who.
What did she say? What did she say? Okay, that's part 2. So let's go to part 3. I like her energy. I think I can be that animated, but like for YouTube, no, I don't think I want to be that animated for like a long duration of time. Maybe like 2-3 minutes now. I'm not doing that for like an hour. So let's see, part 2 and part 3 is over here.
Hello, governor, and thank you for watching episode 3 of Who the Fuck Did I Work For? I know a lot of you don't like my delivery. I got this message today. When you do your next story time, could you do it less animated? It's taking away from your story time.
I say do it. I say be that animated. Be that animated.
No. And let me tell you why. No hate to you, because a lot of people have said that, right? They don't like my delivery, my antics, the animation. It's less believable. I don't give a shit what you believe. That's the truth. I'm just telling you. I'm telling you how I tell it. And I'm an animated person, so regardless of what I deliver, good news or bad news, it's gonna come out animated, you bland, boring bitches. Anyway, where did we leave off?
Y'all like getting y'all asses ate? No. Man, for what? Y'all better be glad I ain't no oh shit. Cause I put these niggas.
Ooh, you guys were mad about that one. You guys acted like I made that video. First of all, I just like to address a couple things. One, I'm not kink shaming anybody. If you want to get pissed on, you want to get pissed on. I don't. I'm not judging you. We listen and we don't judge. You're mad at me because your favorite coach, life coach, likes to get pissed on. What did I do? A lot of you said, well,
so that's what they are, life coach. Hey, if she's freaky, she's freaky. What does that got to do with like being a life coach? But I guess that's her freaky side, but
that's her husband. It is what it is, but that wasn't her husband in the video. So number 3, this.
Okay, I need to like do some research on exactly who these people are, because I think we'll make the story more juicy.
This isn't about booty eating, grocery shopping, or anything of the sort. This was to show you how she speaks around people that she's comfortable with. So when you guys said I was bullying her, right, when she got on TikTok crying, y'all were like, oh, you're going too hard. No. She talked like that. She talked like nigga, bitch. That's how she talked. It's just that, not on stage. So I wasn't bullying anybody, but I bet a bitch won't try to bully me. But I bet I bitch won't try to bully me. So the guy in the video was not her husband, right? And so he was just somebody that she was doing business with. Now this guy, a lot of you have seen his video. He dated her. I'm not sure what happened, but she sent him a very long apology via email, which is, oh my God, like, is he a colleague or a nigga you messing with? I ain't gonna hold you. I didn't read that email. And once I see that your text is this long, you lost me. Now, I don't know why her and the guy you just seen broke up, but I do know that he stated she threw a lot of insults. She was very violent, very like angry, and she sent this and another 4 or 5 emails. Like I told you, you guys can pause it. I ain't reading it. Now, a lot of women in the comments were like, well, she's apologizing. Yeah, but what he's trying to convey is with narcissistic women, they will do something terrible and then apologize, and then do something terrible and then apologize. The apology is more to get you back so they can have more of their supply, not that they actually mean it, because if they meant it, they would stop. Now, upon this guy coming out, there's another guy that came out saying that she shot him with his own gun, shot at him or...
What? What? Okay, again, I feel like I'm gonna I'm definitely gonna write this name down, like probably rewatch this later and like track down who these people are and try to like watch their initial like response video, because this is not what I thought it was gonna go.
Or shot him. Listen here.
No, damn near exactly what happened with me and her when I dated her. She saw that I had did some shit in my phone. We started fighting. Well, we didn't even start fighting. She started hitting me. I was 200 pounds, like 250 at the time, 6 feet tall. She's 5'3", 150 pounds soaking wet. I'm like, I can't hit you, so I'm trying to get out the way. She get in the car, keep hitting me, destroys my car, and then shoots at me with my own gun 3 times.
Hello, governor, and thank you.
What?
you for watching episode 3 of Who the Fuck Did I Work For? I know a lot of you don't like.
This is really good.
And pop goes the bad bitch. Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, depending on where you are from. Thank you for watching episode 4, season 1 of Who the Fuck Did I Work For? A lot of you don't like that there be smoke in my videos, but I'm unemployed. To everybody that has reached out to me, asked me if my mental is okay, asked me if I'm good, I really do appreciate you. I seen some comments saying like she's playing the victim. She acts like a victim. I'm not a victim. I don't even want to call myself a victim. I trusted a man with taco meat on his face. That man has a taco meat beard. That is the makings of a shiesty fella. Ladies, if your boyfriend has taco meat on his face, he's going to mess you up. Listen to me. I can speak from experience. And that reminds me, a lot of you were saying, well, I wouldn't listen to such and such, or I wouldn't listen to such and such. Listen, it didn't start off a panel. It was first a conversation. So season 1 was me, Rico, Mojo, Jojo. Y'all, let's take a poll, guys. Do you like Mojo, Jojo? Or do you like taco meat beard man?
I think I like Mojo Jojo. I think I like that better.
So I know I mentioned in my story on Instagram that he used to say things like, you're not going to be aesthetically pleasing, or are you working on your weight, Keita? And that this is what I look like when I met him. But who was ugly? Also, taco meat on your face. Now, Rico was the first villain. He came in to not only be a part of the podcast, but like help direct the podcast. So one day we were shooting, and I guess we all found out that Rico didn't appreciate being talked to a certain way, and also just it was bad. It was explosive. Now, Mojo Jojo said in one of his lives that I think that he had hired 100 cast members. There's been so many cast members in and out of his house. That was the guest cast. That wasn't core cast. Core cast stayed the same every.
It sounded like this show was popping, or this podcast was popping. I can't believe I never heard of it. So, again, I'm gonna do my research, and maybe if you've watched this before, the podcast, let me know some pretty good episode I should go over. I think that'll probably be a good show, because it sounds like they had a lot of drama going on there. And again, if it's lights, drama, action, call me in.
Every freaking day. So we're sitting in his basement and we're all having a conversation about I just don't know what, but Mojo Jojo and Rico get into it back and forth and back and forth. Rico doesn't like how he's being spoken to, so he says something along the lines of, shut up, I'll beat your ass in your own house, something like that. I don't know. Allegedly, it's not verbatim. And then Mojo Jojo said, use your words. At that moment, I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh. Hit him. Hit him. But he didn't. He acted very professionally. We didn't see Rico again. And I think
you can tell she doesn't like Mojo Jojo.
That's when we saw him, I guess, 1 or 2 straggling shows, but Rico didn't need the money, so we didn't see Rico again. But I think that's when I found out that when you do stand up for yourself, I mean, he didn't have to say. But when you do challenge him, you're gonna get fired. It's gonna be your last day, bud. And sure, I could have quit at that moment. I could have said, "Oh."
To be fair, every job is like that. If you go to your boss, the CEO, or anyone in the company way above you, and tell them, "Hey, let's set it like men, like let's box it out." Yeah, I don't think it's gonna go right. So to be fair.
Oh, you can't challenge him. If you challenge him, it's gonna be a problem. But I did not, because I enjoyed the people that I worked with. I was making good money. And I didn't want to quit my job. Would you quit your job if you found out that your boss was a... You know, what's crazy is along the years, a lot of people have been using words like narcissist and diagnosing everyone around them.
To be fair, again, I know what is this like, episode 4. She hasn't really said anything that to really make me think that he's a really bad guy.
But when you actually see a narcissist, do you know what to look for? A lot of you think that I am bullying our friend Kit Kat, but I'm not. I truly believe she's a female narcissist. And no, I'm not a doctor. But I think when you blindly believe and follow whoever, including myself, you don't do victims justice.
That's true.
People that didn't deserve whatever happened to them. So please think about that, because these men, and there are a lot of men. Oh, there's so many. It's raining men. So a gentleman reached out and said that he dated Kitty, the, relationship expert. So I'm sure the relationship was healthy and loving and progressive. Well, he said that he was cheating on her, right? Which no woman wants. So I want to be fair and tell all the facts. But the woman just reached out, I guess the girl that he cheated with, and it says Kitty did try to kill him that night. It was because I had butt dialed him. Around that time, he had been messing with both me and her. She found out. Then she got ugly. That girl used to cyber stalk me. She found out where I lived. She used to go live and talk about me and him over her FB and TikTok. It was a whole shit show. So she's saying she butt dialed him. And because of that, Kitty was on the phone. She heard. They began to fight. Now, that's what you heard in part 3. They began to fight. The car got damaged. Shots went off. She used his own gun to shoot at him. All because of a butt dial. Now, of course, the story is going to get deeper. And I'm invested. Are you? And pop goes the bad bitch.
Yes,
good morning,
I am.
good afternoon, or good night, depending on where you are from.
Okay, so that's episode 4. So let's look for 5. So far, this is one of my favorite TikTok reaction video. I think it's our energy.
Hello, and thank you for watching episode 5, season 1 of Who the Fuck Did I Work For? Now, see, I would love to keep the storyline in order, but your faves keep getting on lives, forcing people to be uncomfortable and look at them and talking about some shit that don't even matter. So I thought to react to the live. I have to watch it here because I'm blocked.
Numbers don't lie, sir. You right. You don't know them. You don't know the numbers. You ain't did the education, Slay. You ain't did the education, Slay. You ain't did.
Yo, she's hilarious, man.
Education. You don't know the numbers. Matter of fact, I do. You ain't did the education. You guys, I love y'all, man. And honestly, I hope at some point in your life, and a lot of you guys are there.
Look at Mandy.
Some point in your life,
y'all don't know the numbers.
To the point where, excluding the people that are already there. Right?
I ain't followed her today.
But when you get to the point where you're
no, thank you. Stay
organizing a national tour, self-funded,
from money you stole,
self-promoted,
using our pixels.
You know what I'm saying?
Self. Yikes.
You'll have a better perspective.
Then give us that perspective.
There's promoters all over the country that'll listen to me talk and understand everything that I'm saying.
We understand you. We just don't believe you.
I'm not trying to go back and forth.
So let's get to one of the ways he had me messed up. He likes to show the P&L sheet. Everybody was talking about the P&L sheet. Kitty was like, I saw the P&L sheet. We've all got sent P&L sheets. They don't have any information on them, and they're doctored because guess who creates the P&L sheets? Okay. We've never gotten any information on how much the tour, the app, the clips, the YouTube, the anything have ever made. We've never gotten information on it. The only time we can piece information together is when he's bragging. I got big money. I wipe my ass with 50,000. I make $500,000 a weekend. That's the only time we can kind of say, hey, because I remember something wasn't right with my money, though. And speaking of that, let's talk about it. So at May, me and my ex been broken up for a couple weeks. Cordial, everything's fine, but I'm waiting for my paychecks, and I'm like, what's going on? Because a lot of y'all were saying, well, why was he your manager? He wasn't my manager, but Ace didn't like talking to women.
I guess that's what happened when she's using nicknames, so it kind of threw me off. Is she dating Mojo Jojo? Okay, I'm gonna figure out towards the end of this video, right? But if you're watching this now, just let me know if she's dating Mojo Jojo.
To women. So JT is Randy's husband. Carlos is Kitty's. Well, they said she might not be married. That'll be on the next. I don't know if I tell you what, I'm just guessing. Carlos, and then there was Kel, my boyfriend, but he wanted to speak to a man because he said that women don't quite get it. They don't quite get it, and it's easier to talk to the men, even if the men don't know what the fuck you're talking about. So you usually
what?
We just sent them off to have the conversation and then get the information conveyed, right? So they never talked about this, not to me. That's why it was done behind my back. And apparently, after I signed the contract, he changed things up to where we had to buy our own plane tickets. We had to buy our own hotels, and there were no more rental cars. All that used to be given to us, now it was taken away. So he was like, what we can do, I guess to him, to Kel, was what we can do is make a deal to give you in advance so that you can pay for these things. And then we'll just take it from her shows in the back end. Okay, even if that was the case, even if I would have been okay with some dumb shit like that, and I absolutely wouldn't have, because why?
She should have read the contract. That should have been stipulated in the contract. That's what I'm thinking.
Am I paying to work? Is this 12 years of slave? Even if I would have been okay with some dumb shit like that, why send it to his personal bank account? All the money has been sent to my bank account.
Oh, to answer my question previously, I don't think she was dating Mojojojo. I think someone else. She was dated.
Yeah. Would it be because when I checked my bank account, I'd have been like, what's this for? So his manager writes back and says that attaches a promissory note. The promissory note isn't signed. The promissory note just basically says, I promise to pay, but it isn't signed. No one freaking signed it, not even the ex. So who promised to pay you? Every time you ask about the money, it's we're going bankrupt, we don't have it, I'm losing, I'm redlined. Every time you say, well, I'm sorry, you're having money issues, it's I'm not having money issues, I got big money. So you never quite know. That's why he was shaking and flailing. Also, I'd like to talk about the public support of my...
I feel like a lot of times when it comes to the social media stuff, a lot of people... Sassy girl, aloha, sassy girl, yes, it's story time. Sassy girl, I'm not sure why. Oh, Sassy, I was gonna tell you, I need to like mod you again. I do mod I'll mod people like during the live, and later on I'll take it off. Okay, so I need to mod you right now. Let me mod you real quick, Sassy girl. Yes, this is story time. This is really good, Sassy girl. Try to go back to the beginning, right? Maybe start like 5 minutes in, because I was talking, running my mouth the first 5 minutes, like around like 6 minute mark, maybe around the ballpark. Yeah, start. It's really good, very animated, and she's popular. It looks like she has 500,000 subscribers on 300,000 subscribers on YouTube. What is it, Katie Ross? And I've never heard about her until like this story came out. When she made this video, let's address all the lies, shall we? And that's when I kind of like watched a little bit of it. And I figured like, hey, why don't I go live and watch her story time on the Ticket to the Talk? So we're here now. Again, Sassy girl, go back. This is really good. And I'm going to try to mod you real quick.
My colleagues, right? The people that I've been on the pod with. I've never asked for public support. I never said, you better like this comment or say this or that. I stand alone because I can stand alone. I don't need anybody to say I left because of, or I believe her, or I had these kind of conversations. All I need people to do is when I'm lying, stop me. Contracts were changed out the blue. New changes couldn't happen so fast. They couldn't be put on the contract. It just, every single day was a mess of like, what? So yes, most of the time he did pay on time, with exceptions, as he stated. You can write the manager, complain, say this isn't right, wait, what's going on? All you're going to get is a long, drawn-out response that the same shit that he's going to tell you, but long and drawn out with big words. Now, I still haven't gone over the fact that he called me several times to get a hold of my merch, right? He wanted my merch. He wanted to take control of it. Even though I said I already had a crew, I already had my situated, I did not need help. He called me every single day until I said, okay. I had a lot going on. My address had been leaked. There's a lot of, I found out my address was leaked. I was moving. I had a lot going on. So I said, okay. And I didn't even get to the part where he wouldn't give me my merch back unless I said thank you and bought a bottle of tequila. And he put it in an email, and I thought he was joking, but little did I know he was not kidding at all. Hello, and thank you for watching episode 5, season 1 of Who.
Okay, let's go to episode 6. Let's see. It looks like we're missing 6. So I may have to go to YouTube to find episode 6. So let's do that real quick. So we're going to be jumping from YouTube to Ticket to the Talk. So this episode 6.
Hello, my fellow crash outs, and thank you for watching episode 6 of Who the F Did I Work For? Had to censor myself. They're trying to take my pages. If you no longer see me on any of the platforms, follow my YouTube. That means Mojo Jojo 1. So there's a rumor that Mojo Jojo is smashing everybody on the cast, and I don't know where y'all came up with that. But I do know I did say he was dibbling and dabbling for show. Yeah, I know I said that. I got something on my shirt. So this is my very first tour. I'm getting to perform. I'm seeing new fans in new cities. I love this experience, but I'm starting to get irritated, and I'm telling K-Love this. I'm starting to get irritated at Mojo Jojo and the things he would say on stage, especially like if you're in an otherwise healthy and happy marriage, and he decides to cheat on you, your husband decides to cheat on you, you shouldn't leave because otherwise, like other than that, you were happy. Well, clearly we weren't happy because I'm getting cheated on. So that's the stuff that I would say that would make him very mad. And he would only show that after we got off stage. So then I realized, okay, I'm going to have to censor myself because he's not going to let me really express. So aside from all the women that, like the fans that would sleep with Mojo Jojo, because this is when I found out that tour life means a lot of effing is going on. A lot of boot scooting boogieing. So aside from all the women that he would sleep with on tour, he would sleep with, you know, his assistants. So I met one of his assistants that let me know that he get down. Got a couple kinks as well. I'm not shaming it, but it does involve throw up. So Kit Kat ain't the...
What? Oh, let's make sure my stream is good. Okay, let's...
only one that just loves bodily functions. Bodily fluids, I meant. I'm sorry, I'm really frazzled by a lot of all this. I don't kink shame, but I don't think it's wrong to be kink surprised. Imagine a close friend being like, I just need to be pooped on. Every day I think about it.
What? That's a little too much, man. That's a little too much. Again, I'm just here to like, to listen. That's a little too much, man. That's, adios míos.
Love it. So after every show, we like to go out and eat, celebrate. And I remember being in Dayton, Ohio and talking to his wife and basically telling them that they had amazing husbands because I seen them do their job and go home. And they really showed me that married men can absolutely be in front of a whole bunch of women that are open and ready to pop it up, to pop it out. They can see that and say, what I got at home is more precious, and go to their hotel room and not be frazzle-dazzling in the lobby. And this is where I learned that cheating on your significant other or your spouse doesn't only hurt your significant other, but it really makes everybody around the situation feel uncomfortable. Because as I'm speaking to these ladies, his girl comes up and says, well, what about Mojo Jojo? You're saying he's faithful. What about him? So I would like to take a poll. If you knew that your boss was unfaithful and at the company Christmas party, his wife asks you, what are you going to say? Are you going to tell her the truth, or are you going to say, yeah, he's absolutely faithful. He's just like the rest of them. He's doing good. Well, if your answer was not the latter one, because mine was, I looked at her right in her face and I was like, he is faithful. Yeah, he really loves you. I didn't know what else to say. I did not want to lose my job. I was put in a very awkward situation. Me and that girlfriend weren't close then. Now we are, but we weren't close then, and I just didn't know what to do. And that's when I realized how selfish. He put me in this situation. Now,
yeah, that's a very sticky situation. It's like if you say something, it's like at the end of the day, sometimes when you say something, they end up turning on you, right? The girlfriend end up turning on you, and I'm thinking you need Sassy girl, you threw me off. I was like, mood. Okay, mod. Got it. Yes. Sassy girl. Okay, I'm trying to like mod you up. I'm not sure why your name's not showing up. Yeah, I think as of now, maybe. Okay, I'm gonna leave off modding. Maybe the channel grows up when I actually start going live more. Maybe I'll do so. Okay, because I'm trying to find your name. Yeah, just keep you as a mod.
Now I might be wrong, but he put me in that situation. He didn't even have a type. Some wheelchair,
what?
little hand.
What?
And I'm not trying to be rude. It didn't matter. It didn't matter the disability. Not to say anybody was like not able to function. I don't think he took advantage of anyone. They were able, but the disabled, they're able. You hear what I'm saying? The disabled is able. They get down. You hear what I'm saying?
Okay, that's part 6. Okay, we're gonna go to
That
part
podcast
7.
want a big black.
I think part 7. Let's go back to the TikTok.
Hello, my fellow crash outs, and thank you for watching episode 6 of Who the F Did I Work For?
No.
Had to censor myself. They're trying to take my pages.
Okay, she labeled as episode 7, but it's actually not. So let's see what her 8 is.
Hello, my fellow crash outs, reporting for duty. Thank you for watching another episode of Who the Fuck Did I Work For? Apparently, he loves the skinny's in. That's good. So, you all might have heard that Mojo Jojo posted an audio of me having a manic episode. I'm bipolar. I've always been a mental health advocate, so I don't hide the fact that I'm bipolar because I'm usually regulated and happy. But what I realized in 2025 is being an empath, you cannot be nowhere near and you should not be speaking to narcissists, period. So Mojo Jojo called me and offered me what I was owed, and 2, a little bit more on the top, to help out some of the people that he's wronged. Because the thing about an abuser is they usually abuse more than one person. So the whole Me Too movement that people can't quite wrap their head around is Me Too. He's done that. She's done that to me too. And it's good to feel like you're not alone when you're fighting a super evil villain. So Mojo Jojo thought that he could trick me by calling me over and over and over again and offering me different solutions to cover up his little past and his little problems. And he would record me and show everybody that I was the evil villain. I was the extortionist, the money.
Okay, we're gonna react to his video too. To be fair, it's only right to like watch both sides, right?
Hungry, whatever. But I was recording him too because I stopped trusting him a long time ago.
Keita, I ain't ate since.
Me neither. I haven't eaten in 3 days. I'm so thin and pretty.
She's a natural comedian. Okay, Sassy Girl, Aloha. Sassy Girl says, I don't think you need a model. Okay, Nishana, I think I read that to myself. Both partners would turn on you. I wouldn't have directed that question. I'm not sure what that means, Sassy Girl.
I'm gorgeous.
Can I just
Talk to me in that way. I'm back.
Hey, yo, Keita.
But I'm not wavering. I'm not wavering.
No, Keita, you gotta give me 3 seconds.
Okay.
Keita, you gotta give me 3 seconds.
No, yeah, you talk. I'm not doing it.
Hey, Ace. Okay. So it is a partnership. She has no reason not to Yes.
Hey, Mary, 5 minutes because you work for me. Because you work for me. 5 minutes with this one.
As y'all can see, she was very angry. And yes, she did scream at me. But if you make as much money as I do, but my good best friend pays me, you can scream at me too.
No, nobody should be able to scream at you. I was having a manic episode.
And this was after like days of negotiation with what some people would call a mass manipulator.
He is.
But clearly he can't be that smart.
Nope.
Because how can you extort somebody who you came to first?
You came to me
That's
first.
Really
You came and
wrong.
offered me first.
And trying to send someone to jail.
To jail.
And then not,
Extortion.
Not expecting, what, a recording? Several,
Several recordings.
That's
days.
That is wild.
It's okay. It's going on the
Well,
docuseries.
As long as we've known each other, I thought we was friends. Unblock me, Ace.
I'm Black Race. I'm Mojo. As you can see, we've been friends for a long time. 10 years, 12 years, 13, I don't even know. And nobody knows that she bites. She's actually struck me. So we're not gonna, she's toxic as well, but we're just gonna keep going. So I initially started this whole thing to talk about in detail my financial abuse because I thought it would be somewhat therapeutic. So in the beginning of the shows, I used to make my own merch because I felt very, very creative and I love that little cricket thing.
Oh, Sassy Girl said, I meant redirecting the question when the wife asked her if her husband was cheating. So let me go back to what you said. Both partners will turn on you. I wouldn't. Okay, I wouldn't. Okay, got it. I see what you're saying, sassy girl. Yeah, I think the wife even asking is like what, like why you throwing me into this? Like what do I have to do with this? Like what are you want me to say? Oh no, yeah, I did catch your husband in the 6th floor with like a girl coming out of his room. Like what? I don't know. I don't want to go into deep with that one because I don't want to go. I don't want to like. Yeah. I don't want to take it as a non-serious situation. I get it, right? But at the same time, it's just like, what do you want her to say?
Mojo Jojo said the merch was ugly. It should be mass produced. I need an actual designer, so I needed to hire his designer buddy. He knows what he's talking about because he's made millions on his shirts and books. So I'm like, well, you know what you're doing and I don't. So, okay. Around Black Friday, he showed me like $340,000 worth of sales. And that was just the card game. So he seemed to know what he was doing. He was a black man willing to help a single mom out. Ha! So I started to look for new designers, and that's when I realized design is expensive. Do not go cheap on design. Designers, videographers, editors, these people, they make what they make because it's worth it. The shows were growing rapidly, so Mojo Jojo was like, listen, I'm going to set up your website. I'm going to do all this. We're going to sell your merch. I need you to buy a lot of merch.
I'm so surprised I never heard of this show before. It looks kind of lit. I'm turning my head because the frame is like sideways. It looks like it was packed
this time because we're going to
going from like YouTube, right, to actually having people pay to see you on stage is a whole different ballgame. I've heard YouTubers that have millions of subscribers, right, that have like a show and barely anyone showed up. Even like musicians that have like 100 million subscribers, when they drop a CD, probably sell like 10,000 copies, right? So getting people to actually pay, from free to pay, it's a whole different ballgame. And this looks very impressive.
To 100 cities, it's going to be thousands of people in each city. You're going to need a lot of merch. So I stopped making my own merch and started buying thousands in quantity because he said we would need it. He said even if we didn't sell it on tour, it didn't matter because he had 1 million people.
I like that, heal and hydrate.
People on his email list, so all he had to do was send out a bulletin, and in a click of a button, I'd get 40 to 50,000 probably that day. None of that stuff happened, and it took months and months, and maybe even a year and a half to figure out that he was absolutely not going to do any of that stuff. But I'll detail that a little later. I'm about to wrap this up. A lot of you guys are saying, why don't you have your own podcast? I do have my own podcast. It's called Unmedicated and Educated with Keita Rose. I'm Keita Rose.
Keita Rose, don't forget, again, this is her YouTube channel, so please subscribe. I don't want to lose where I'm at. Okay, so this is it here, Keita Rose, okay? And where's the name? Let's see, Unmedicated. Okay, Unmedicated and Educated, right, with Keita Rose.
This is the pod he said he was going to put $20, $30, $40, $50,000 in, but that wasn't true either. Which is okay, because you know I did it on my own. If you're interested in seeing some of these wacky episodes. The episodes are on Patreon and YouTube membership.
Question, do black men need therapy?
From a therapist?
If you'd like to support me, go on down to KitaSaidIt.com. That's KITASAIDIT.com. Use code.
And if you want to see that too, you can go, when you go to her YouTube, just click on the website here and KitaSaidIt.com, okay? So what else? Well, so if you want to go to her store to support her, again, I'm doing this video based on fair use commentary, right? But it's also good to also check out the individual that I'm going to cover. So go to their store, see if you like their merch, and just kind of check out the video and try to support them.
Use code Mojo Jojo, that's Mo with 3 Joes, for a
Mojo Jojo.
humongous discount. Thank you. Hello, my fellow crash outs, reporting for duty.
Okay, so that was number 8. So let's go to number 9. I think this is the wrong one. Okay.
To get this done, we have to do it obviously above the board.
What's that mean?
Right, because it means that technically we can't say what we're doing this for. Yeah, I like that being more of it. He was saying that what your lawyer said, and then I like it being something that is private between.
I'm missing the context for this.
Us that don't get out. But it doesn't benefit neither one of us to go to court about this. It's not worth it. You know what I'm saying? It's not worth it for me. The amount of money I would pay lawyers to keep watching your page and doing this and doing that, it's not fucking worth it. So what I'm saying is, like, I didn't need a all-encompassing MB.
Oh wow, that's really loud. I'm gonna skip this one. I think this is the message that she's getting from Mojo Jojo, right? And basically talking about legal stuff. So I'm gonna skip this. This is really loud. Okay, so I'm gonna go to episode 9. I think I may have to go to YouTube to watch that. Let's see, I don't see it here. Perfect. So let's go back to YouTube to watch episode 9. So what do you think so far? Okay, so episode 8, 9, and 10 is just all in one video. Let's see.
Hello, my fellow crash outs, reporting for duty. Thank you.
Okay, so you already covered it. So I guess it's improperly tagged. She get a strike for that one. I'm just kidding. Let's see. So let's see, episode 11. Do we have that? I see 12. I don't see 11. Let me see. This is 11.
Hello, my fellow crash outs, reporting for duty. Thank you so much for watching episode 11 of Who the Fuck Did I Work For? For those of you confused, there's 2 episode 8s. Listen, just keep rolling with me.
Yeah.
I'd just like to address a few things before we start. A lot of you have complained, I'm dragging this out. I need to get to the point. What is the point of all this?
Sassy Girl said, would you interview her if you had a chance? Absolutely. Sassy Girl, thanks for that question. I am going back to the interviewing, okay? Before I wanted to take some time off. I think summertime is coming. I want to challenge myself in different ways because I don't want to interview people over just like over the internet. I feel like it's kind of like the same kind of like boring thing that everyone kind of does, right? I like to stand apart. So it depends. I'm not sure where she lives at, so I may have to like try to schedule and do an in-person interview, okay? And I'm debating on getting a new camera. And so I definitely want to make sure I utilize the camera instead of just buying this camera and not really using it, right? So it's a cinema camera. It's a beast, right? And I think I have several cameras behind me that I want to like just get one super camera, okay? And actually 2 super cameras. I like my Canon R6 for like for my live stream. I want to get a Canon C70. It's a beast of a camera. So I'm thinking of doing that because of the autofocus and me having that camera. I want to start doing interviews. So I'm gonna try to reach out to her and see. And she already has a very nice studio. So let's go back here real quick. I did watch one of her. Oh yeah, see, she interviewed this rapper.
But if you're an OG, then
it looks very professional. It's very professional.
You already know what the fuck is going on. Like, share, subscribe, talk shit in my comments. You know, tell me how you.
She has a very big personality. Yeah, so I would definitely, to keep it short, I would like to interview her. And she already have a nice studio, so maybe go to the studio, like record her from there, right? But yeah, I would definitely like to I'm gonna reach out to her and see if she wants to do an interview. Maybe not about the story, but yeah, I don't know. I have to like gauge more to see exactly what she's all about and kind of like go from there. Maybe just do like a 21 question kind of style interview. She has a very big personality, and these are people that I like to interview because I'm more mellow. So I think she's gonna carry the show or carry the interview.
Hello, my fellow crash outs, reporting for.
So let's go back to the video.
Before we start, a lot of you have complained, I'm dragging this out. I need to get to the point. What is the point of all this? The only thing that I can think to say is go somewhere else. There's a lot of things I'm processing in real time. So trigger warning, this episode is going to be about abuse. So a lot of you feel like this.
You have made a 6, 7, 8-part series about Mojo Jojo.
To be fair, I'm watching this. I haven't really except for the audio recording. I think the audio recording was just too loud in my ears. I'm gonna have to go back to that. I'm not sure exactly what he did wrong. Is it bad business? You may feel probably. Again, that's what she probably feels, right? But in terms of like abuse, financial abuse, I'm not seeing that because if you sign a deal that says, "Hey, you're gonna get this amount," right? You can't get mad at the person because you negotiate that amount and he's giving you that amount, you feel like, well, I feel like I should get more, right? If you were to negotiate, say, hey, if the show is extremely successful, I deserve this bonus at a certain time. Yes. So you use that as learning lessons to negotiate your next contract. But I haven't really seen anything he's done though. Like she said, yes, the payment was late sometimes. So I get that, right? You know what I'm saying? Because he did sound like he was making a lot of money, but how come she's getting late payments sometimes? Because she has her bills too. But I don't know. So I do understand where people are coming from. Because right now, I believe we're episode 11. I haven't really heard anything like bad.
Time, you knew who he was.
People that have suffered abuse oftentimes
bad basically means affecting her. Yes, him cheating on his wife and those stuff, yes. But in terms of like directly affecting her, Kid Rose is like making this like series. That's what I'm kind of like still trying to gauge.
Told you knew who that person was, and yet you still allowed them to do what they did. And they are right. In fact, I've always said that.
It's a lot easier to call yourself a victim than it is to take responsibility and accountability for the things that you allow and stand up for yourself.
I thought Mojo Jojo was an asshole and a cheater. But if you've ever attended a show, you know that I've never held back how I felt, and I've always spoke my mind. And I called him out every chance I could get, and also insulted him.
Jobs.
Wait, the whole job.
A whole job. Just what it is. A whole job is like a truck driver, a podcast host.
I knew Mojo Jojo was a cheater and an asshole, and I have a high tolerance for BS because of my time spent in the military. So men who act like that don't really shake me. I can pretty much tolerate it because that was my military experience. I had the mindset like if women are willing to listen to this bullshit, even with a woman right beside him telling them he is wrong and calling him out as much as possible, and yet they're still willing to give him their money, then whatever they get. Whatever they deserve. Whatever life he's going to lead them into having is what it is. I'm just here so I don't get fined. Another valid point would be, well, if you experienced all that, why did you stay for so long? I think for the first 2 years, I was focused on getting money and learning whatever I could learn.
What? This show was popping that much? Who are these people? 2 years on the tour? Oh, maybe it's just is the actual just a podcast? Okay. Maybe I'm looking too much into it because I thought maybe they were on the show on the road for 2 years. That's really good.
And just experiencing what it is to be on tour. It wasn't until year 2 to where he started to tell me his abuse stories. If you know me, you know I don't play about child abuse. I don't play about protecting children because children cannot fight back. They're the most vulnerable being on this earth. So around like 2 years in.
Yeah, I 100% agree. 100% agree what you said about kids. Sassy Girl says, that's why you put everything in the contract, right? That you want and a time limit. That way neither person can come back and say they didn't get their due diligence. Yes. But also too, there's also that power dynamic, right? She's looking at it like, well, this is an opportunity for me to do something, take my career somewhere else, right? And she probably, okay, let me take the lowest possible amount, and I'm gonna basically cash that up later on, whatever I'm gonna do, right? So, and what happens is that sometimes people say that, but when they start seeing how successful it is, like, wait a minute, we're going to this state, you're making $10,000, you're giving me $300 each night, and I have to pay for my car. Hell no. Hell no. Even though the contract says this, right? You may feel like you're due certain amount. I remember I was watching the Making a Band, how they were saying P. Diddy during the time when the band what band was this? The rap group, right? Forgot the name, right? They were making a lot of money each day, right? But they were getting I think they were making definitely more than six figures, six figures, maybe $300,000-$400,000, and they were only getting, each member was getting $2,000-$3,000 each. So I'm pretty sure if you see that, you're like, well, although I signed this contract, I just feel like it wasn't right what you were doing. You literally took advantage of me. This may be the case. And that's why when she was talking about like how much he never provided a paperwork, I feel like she suspected that. She suspected like he was making a insane amount of money, but he was only giving her like peanuts. So, but is that fair? Is that business? That's business. Is that jacked up? Yeah, that it is. But we also live in a day and age where people will take that grievance to like online. So is that right? So that's where it goes to all this different legality stuff.
And Mojo Jojo started lying about what he'd invest in, how much merch I needed, different things like that. So I'm slowly finding out that he's not a reliable business partner is what I'm thinking. So I don't believe any of the damages that have been done were malicious at that time. Now they were absolutely malicious. So Mojo Jojo would say that from a young age, his mom was on drugs. His dad went to jail. When his mom got clean, she decided to turn her life over to God and she joined the Jehovah's Witnesses. So he is a Jehovah's Witness. Now, since Mojo Jojo's father was in jail, he attached himself to a mentor that attended the same church. Allegedly, this mentor would take him on trips, buy him nice clothes, nice shoes, in exchange for sex. I only say in exchange for sex because the stories would start off with, when I was young, I was groomed, I was SA'd, right? So I felt very bad. I had a lot of sympathy. And then towards the end it was, I understand why women accept certain types of abuse, especially if they benefit, if they get cars and clothes and houses and stuff like that, because my mentor did the same thing and, I got all these things. It was almost as if he knew it was abuse, but didn't see it like it was abuse because he benefited, which is what I think a lot of us do. I think he uses his abuse as a way to gain sympathy so people can justify his actions, because that's exactly what I did. A lot of the times when he...
I also believe too that a lot of people that become victim of that, like they may have a warped, like very contradicting kind of like... How do I put this? See, I'm not into that. I'm not in that medical field, so I don't want to say this the wrong way. But I do feel like I'll skip my thoughts for now, okay? Because I don't want to say the wrong thing. Because when it comes to like someone he's experienced childhood trauma like that, right? Yes, he may not convey it the right way. That's what I'm trying to say that, right? But for her to say like he's using that as a way to kind of fish and kind of like just put people guard down, I think that's a far reach. She's really getting there, because she needs a good example of why she would say that. Let's hope she gives that.
He was acting an ass. I justified it with, well, he wasn't raised off love. He was raised off survival. He doesn't trust anybody. He's paranoid. Different things like that stem from abuse. And a lot of people told me they didn't give a shit. That didn't give him a right. That didn't give him the right to behave that way just because something like that happened to him. So I never really gave much thought about the child abuse situation. He casually talked about it. It was like something he talked about like on a Tuesday. Just, I've had sex with men and men have SA'd me, and these are the things he would just say during brunch. So he's been very open about the whole thing, except a couple shows ago, right? So not my last show, but maybe a couple shows ago, we were all in the green room and he was, of course, talking about his abuse like he always does, randomly and casually to everyone. I told him to stop doing that. He won't. And he ended the conversation with, yeah, my mentor is still doing the same thing to boys to this day. And of course, rightfully so, everyone who...
Whoa. Damn, this is... Sassy Girl says some people do weaponize their trauma for sympathy. Yes, I agree with you. Sassy Girl, we came from a different sector of YouTube. Man, I used to not trying to say certain things, but that sector, some people were like Jaguar Wright, right? A lot of things never happened to her. She just makes it up. That is a whole different story, right? But again, I also like to do my due diligence on the person, right? If the person is just like some people are just liars. Some people just lie. Like Jaguar Wright, she's a liar. But in this situation, I don't know the person she's talking about. I don't know Mojo Jojo, right? So I'm trying hoping she'll give example of why she believes that, or jumped to that conclusion that he's just using his trauma to weaponize, right? But the fact that like the mentor is still doing that, geez.
Heard all the abuse that he talked about is taken aback because you're saying that this could potentially still be happening to this day. So when asked, well, why don't you step up? Why don't you say anything? Why don't you do anything? He shut down. I genuinely believe that he knows that other people feel like it's wrong, but as long as the boys are getting taken care of, well,
he may be scared. He may be scared. He may be a man, but people expect him to like, oh yeah, he should be like brow, like he should be very I don't know, more courageous, right? But at the same time, it's like this is someone who abused him and also used that abuse as a way to kind of like say, hey, I'm here for you. You don't know that probably still has a little boy in him, that person, he's still looking at that person like that he cannot do that to someone who probably would do that, like he cannot cause harm to that person. Let's say that person did that to the mentor did that to him, right, when he was at an older age. So he may be able to like do something at that age, but right now he probably took advantage of it, and for him at such a young age that he probably still trying to protect the guy. So I feel like because he's a man, that's why she's saying this a little bit. Because I feel like Kida Rose would not say the same if a woman would have a similar story to say, well, my abuser's still like doing that, and like I feel she would have probably been more like understanding, because just because he's a man does not mean that he's still not afraid to like confront his abuser.
Is it really abuse? I think it's important to note that a lot of us don't know who the people we work with are really.
That's what abuse sometimes may do, though. What does for like one person may not be the same for others. So it may sometimes, again, the human brain is a very interesting machine, right? Is some people that get abused, they may see that person and say, well, at least I'm not homeless. Or I'm not homeless, right? At least he did that, but guess what? He took care of me. At least he paid for my college, right? And some people may see that and say, well, guess what? He did that. I don't care what he does. I don't care if he fits. I don't care if he discovered the next cancer. I'm going to take you out. So that's what I'm saying. It's a very interesting thing about the human brain. So it's not.
And what they do behind closed doors,
it's not one glove fits all kind of situation.
Work with them. So after he says that, a cast member asks,
she said work with them?
A lot of us don't know who the people we work with are really, and what they do behind closed doors, we just work with them. So after he says that, a cast member asks, well,
I hope he's not working with the guy.
What are you going to do to save the little boys? Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to step up publicly? Are you going to, like, what have you done to save these children? And Jojo just shut down. He didn't say anything.
See, that's what I'm saying. I'm telling you, if he was a girl, I don't think she would say the same thing too right now, because he may look like that. No joke. A older person may try to like do something harm to him. I guarantee he's probably going to defend himself. It's just that one person, he may see that person as someone who, he doesn't have the same energy. And again, it's a very complex thing about when trauma happens to people, right? Because maybe this is what he's trying to do now by voicing that and try to tell the world like, hey, this person is doing something to children and I'm not capable of doing something, but I'm telling you, so hopefully you can help. You get what I'm saying? Because if
I'm not gonna hold you. I didn't really take his claim serious because I think he's a liar and I think everything that comes out of his mouth is a lie. Until I started this series and, people started coming out. Turns out he's been telling people the same story for 10 plus years. Now that I know all the mentor stories weren't lies, we are doing everything in our power to figure out who this guy is, what can we do.
Exactly. I never believed he was actually telling a lie about that. I just felt like he's still afraid of that person. He's still afraid to confront that person. And maybe this is his way of telling the world like, hey, stop this person. I cannot do it, but please stop this person. Help me.
Is this still happening? How can we stop this? So no worries there. But I genuinely believe he does not see an actual problem with any of this, which is why he casually speaks about it. So trigger warning.
No, I don't think that's right. I have to disagree with Kida Rose on this one. I have to disagree.
Warning, the next couple episodes will probably be about abuse.
Okay, that took a different turn. What episode?
Hello, my fellow crash outs reporting for duty. Thank you so much for watching episode 11 of...
Okay, episode 11. Perfect. So let's look for episode 12.
Hello, my fellow crash outs reporting for duty. Thank you for watching episode 12. A lot of you guys said, Kita, we are not on episode 12. Where'd you get these numbers? I don't know. I've been going through it. So thank you for watching episode 12. A lot of you have been saying, thank you. The videos are less animated. You calm down. We really like that.
I love the animation. I love the animation. And it's the thing about life, man. Just be you. I love the animation because it woke me up. Because I can be that animated, FYI. But it's just like when I'm on YouTube, I'm not as animated. But that's why I said I don't want to focus on just doing reaction anymore. I want to do fitness. I want to do like interviews. Sassy girl, thanks for bringing that up. I want to do an interview. I want to do different things to kind of like bring a different part of me out. Right? I can be very mellow. But at the same time, I can be very animated. Depends on what I'm doing, right? But this animate, like to be animated for like 2 hours, no, probably not. But I love her energy.
Appreciate that. I didn't calm down.
It keeps me going.
You were witnessing a manic episode, and now you are witnessing me in a depressive state. I have been drained of energy by a demon. I'm not gonna lie. On January 18th, I did receive a cease and desist. I also did say on my story that I was gonna wipe my ass. Well, first I said I was going to print the cease and desist on Charmin.
And that's what Tasha K said.
And then I was going to wipe my... Now it seems we have upgraded to a lawsuit. Let me upgrade you. I believe I'm being sued for defamation. Good thing I'm telling the truth. This counter is going to be sickening. Trigger warning, this episode is going to mention abuse. A lot of you said the last episode was uncomfortable and unnecessary, but I disagree. I do agree that it was uncomfortable, but very necessary. Because... monsters aren't, people don't just wake up one day becoming this. They don't wake up one day hating everyone and wanting to destroy everyone around them.
To be fair, though, he was the one that was violated, though, right? He wasn't, he was a womanizer or cheating his wife. That's not against the law. So the fact that, like, I guess I can see some people being not happy at Kita Rose because they feel like that's his story to tell and how she just kind of like disclosed that, right? Because he's not the one being a monster out there. That was done to him as a little child, and him not like that. Again, he was trying to tell people just wouldn't listen, right? Because again, and that's there's a whole like thing on that, like just what the brain does when something very traumatic and how it shuts down. It's been studied and still not fully we still don't fully understand what it does. They just show you how complex it is.
They don't. Oftentimes it's done to them first. That's why it's important to stop the cycle. It has been corroborated by several individuals that this was a mentor of Mojo Jojo. I asked several individuals that attended the church who the mentor was, and they all said the same thing. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I know who his mentor is. I've known him since...
the intern is a very interesting place. I hope it's the right person, though, because it's going to be messed if it's the wrong person. Because if you have a mentor, right, and trying to look out for you, and now the intern is saying something you didn't do, that's really grimy. So... I don't condone this, but because you got to really know, you got to really have a bullseye. He has to confirm it, okay? Because you can allege all you want to, because you don't know how many mentors he had. Maybe for me personally, I had several mentors in my life. My job mentor, my personal mentor is not the same people. So for you to say like one person, you know what I'm saying? If I say, oh, something again, that didn't happen to me, but I'm saying if someone to say, well, he said a mentor did something to him, and you say that you accuse someone that didn't do it, trust me, it just you don't. And that's one of my rules in life. Don't accuse the wrong person, because you don't want to make a good person become bad. We already have enough bad people in this world, horrible people in this world. So let's try to keep the good people good.
Since he was a kid, his mentor tried to bring in my younger brother, and we shut it down. I would love to chat more if this helps take this guy down. If you want dude's name that's been preying on Jehovah's Witnesses boys, I can give it to you. I had a strong hunch, but couldn't prove it. I'm one of the Jehovah's Witnesses, and I knew Anthony when we were younger. I have a feeling I know who that guy could be, but I need you to confirm the name if possible, because abuse is a huge allegation.
Exactly.
Is this person's name blank? Abuse is a huge allegation, but yes, that's his name. Wow, everyone has said the same thing. Blank has been grooming young boys for years. Look no further. For individuals that haven't healed from abuse, they tend to abuse others in different ways. It could be financial.
No. See, that's what I'm saying. People that don't have the degree. No. Yes, more likely than not. Like basically how I had a 50% chance they will. And I always find it very sad. People that like get abused and then like do the same to people, right? I always find it very like messed up, right? But at the same time, it's like, no, nah. Let's hear what she says more.
It could be physical, it could be any type of abuse, because inflicting that same pain that they experience onto other people feels good for the moment. I wanted to detail financial abuse and tell you guys why you shouldn't believe and trust everybody that tells you things, because they could be lying to you. But then people came out and I realized it was deeper. Listen,
I know financial abuse and that abuse is two different things though. Because even to be fair now, I'm trying to look at this, right? I'm trying to be objective as possible. I still don't understand what he did that was really wrong. I feel like she had a bad deal, right? But the fact that he was abused by someone, it's not the same thing of what like basically him shorting you cash. It's not the same thing. So now that he financially abused you, so now you're an abuser, so you're more likely now to gonna financially abuse someone else. So he just created an abuser out of you now. So now, like, what does that mean? Now you're gonna ask someone, like abuse someone in that kind of like in a physical way. I guess what I'm saying is like, yeah, it doesn't kind of make sense. It doesn't make sense a little bit.
Y'all know a guy that's cheating and does little shiesty things, but comes off as a family man, right? That is different than a person profiting off of pain. I'm not saying either is right. I'm just saying it is that deep.
We're specific.
Okay, she's losing me a little bit. Specifically
talking about sexual abuse and physical violence towards women and some men. It's, I just want to say this, and this is not just towards you. I'm gonna just take you out of it because I don't want this to be a back and forth thing. Protecting women is so much bigger than just physical.
I agree.
Right.
Now, Jojo says he's answering questions.
I said protect both, man. I'm in the school of protect both, because right now you can see that's a big dude, right? Even though that was done to him, because I've always said, like, if you do something like that to me and I get, like, I'm 6'2", I weighed myself and I've gained like 15 pounds, 10 pounds this year, like 235 pounds, man. This is around the age where I should start like literally cutting head. I shouldn't say that. Basically taking heads off. But as you can see, the guy's a big guy, right? What I'm trying to say is the fact that, like, you can still see he's still intimidated by the person that abused him. That person is way older now, so he can definitely try again his vengeance, right? But you can still what that did to him, make him feel like the child, like he even probably still get it out there. He can't even convey that message that's still breaking down. Right, it just shows you what abuse does to people. So it's important to protect not just women, children, men too. So I understand that a lot of women are gonna get more physical abuse too, but like physical, and that the other word I don't want to say because YouTube is gonna ban this video, right, or just like flag it, right? A lot of women tend to get that more, but it's also important too. Like men get that too. I learned that when I was in the military. That thing opened my eyes. How when you first come in the military, they're talking about like all this stuff, things like that, right? And in the military, when they look at when they're telling the guys like, "Hey, it's not just the women that get that; men get that." That thing blew my mind open, man. Pause. Right? It's like you're like thinking this person is cool. Next thing you know, you're drinking and all of a sudden you pass out and you wake up with a man on top of you. And a lot of people in the military don't tell because you're like, yo, that's a man that did that to you. I remember the first time I heard that in the military, that just blew my mind. I'm like, holy crap! I looked at everyone. Nah, I'm not drinking nothing. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know. But I guess my point I'm trying to get back to what I'm saying is the fact, like, it's not just women, it's men too. It's men too, and you can see this big dude right here. You can just see that still traumatize him. Okay. So again, let's go for like not just women, men too, okay?
Tomorrow, well, I'm blocked, but I do have a few. Why in the statement you put out, you said that you've never physically struck a woman? How come you weren't honest about removing your wife, your ex-wife, from the house? How come everyone that's been around you has a story about how you've hurt them? Well, they stopped me from posting certain places, so follow my YouTube in case I get shut down. If somebody takes the tube, I'll be on Patreon and MySpace. Seems like Jojo.
Whoa,
and
MySpace. MySpace. Is MySpace the one? I think MySpace is the one. I think MySpace is sold to like, what is it, Yahoo or MSN? I forgot. Okay, anyway, let's go. So what episode is this? Episode 12. So let's go to episode 13 then. I guess I'm going to finish this today. Episode 13.
Hello, my fellow crash outs, reporting for duty. Thank you so much for watching episode 13 of Who the Fuck Did I Work For? People are so creative. It's crazy. Trigger warning, this episode will mention abuse. A lot of you were upset that I posted Jojo's mentor, and let me tell you why I did it. Well, for one, out of Jojo's mouth, I heard him say he's still mentoring boys to this day after detailing his abuse in the green room. A couple of people who will remain anonymous reached out and, basically said, thank you. He's still in the church. The elders are going to handle him. I don't know what that means because I'm not a Jehovah's Witness, but guess what? I contacted the police. Just a couple of thank yous.
Yeah, that's what I always found very interesting about this whole church stuff. When abuse is in the church, it's like elders or the religious people are going to do it, right? And I just found it very sad. I remember when the Catholic Church had this whole thing of child abuse. It was just, I still don't understand how people just swept that under the rug. I still don't get it. But I have a theory. I also believe that is because it was done to a lot of men. That's what I personally feel. It was done to a lot of men, and they want to keep having that way of initiating people into again. I don't want to go too deep. I don't want to go too deep in that because it's just like Tony Busby, the guy that have the 800 number. If Jay-Z or P Diddy, FP Diddy, right? If Jay-Z did something, he's making a line on P Diddy, right? I mean on Jay-Z, right? I always find it very interesting how more lawyers or people like him, maybe because he's Catholic, right? How come the lawyers didn't have call a lawyer to if you've been experiencing anything from the Catholic Church? Well, it's find that very interesting. Or any kind of religious organization, right? Call us and we'll take care of it. I guarantee lawyers will be getting called. It will be a line outside. It will look like a goddamn fast food restaurant, right? The line just to talk to the lawyers about their abuse.
Wanted to say thank you so much. This needed to come out. We've always had our suspicions, but nobody would ever come forward. So this really helped open the door to all this finally coming out and has even helped others come forward. Good. One of the points of this was to show people what's to be expected when you come out and call out abuse. 1, people are going to talk shit. 2, no one's going to believe you. 3, a lot of people are going to want you to just stop talking about it.
That's true.
Yes, I'm a witness, but here's the thing. I don't want Blank's behavior to be associated with Jehovah's Witnesses. He's never been worthy of being called one. He's sick, manipulative, lying, weirdo, con man, not a man of God. We've all had our suspicions for years, but I've never actually heard one of the young boys he's groomed admit to being abused. If Anthony is saying that this happened to him, it should be believed. There have been signs for years, but he's always lied his way out of it. I applaud what you're doing, but I should warn you that he's dangerous. I'm sure. A lot of you said, this isn't my story to tell. So why am I telling it? Number 1, there could be boys in danger. And now the proper authorities will probably handle it, I hope. Or maybe they'll fail them. I don't know. And y'all don't seem to give a fuck. So let's move on. Number 2, he casually talks about it. Brunch, breakfast, dinner before we...
That's fair. And also, if he mentioned the boys is still being potentially be exposed to that kind of abuse, Come on. She's doing the right thing, man. Come on.
Go on stage.
And I just feel like his way of kind of telling the world, like, hey, I need help. I need help with that situation. That's what I'm getting from it.
And it's just random. It's in between.
That's like, this is how I see it as. It's like, you know, like some bank robbers, like some people rob a bank and like leave their ID there. Like, it's like, yeah, you want it to be called. You want it to be called. And if he's doing that, going around telling people the story, it says, hey, also just a little wink, wink. He's still doing the same thing. Come on.
Between other normal conversations, he'll detail sexcapades with men in front of other people. I've always believed him. I've always felt bad for him. I've always tried to defend him. But after a while, the stories just kept getting wilder and wilder. And then it stopped sounding like abuse and started to sound like bragging. Before it was, this happened to me and everybody felt bad. Like, I was a child. Okay, we understood. But after the age of 18, it was, I got clothes and I got trips, and I can understand why women are okay with, certain abuse because I benefited. So was it a benefit or was it abuse or was it both? Number 3, it's hard to believe that.
That's how his brain wrapped it up. That's how his brain was able to, like, I don't know, like, deal with it, though. Because if his brain had to tell him, like, listen, what you went through was not right and you should probably take that person's head off. You get what I'm saying? Maybe his brain he doesn't want to go that way. He's like, you know what? I'm going to have to live with that. So with that being said, I'm going to live in this universe of like, it benefited me. That's probably, again, that's what I mean by how the people treat abuse differently. It's just how the brain works.
That a man who rallies for women, queens don't settle and don't waste my time, would have so much anger towards women, but it might be because he wasn't protected. He was failed in every sense of the word and became.
That's what I mean by this on YouTube. It's like she's giving some red flags a little bit to me, because if you say he's what did she say about women?
Waste my time, would have so much anger towards women, but it might.
If he has so much anger towards women, but the phone call that we saw was you going at him. So what is the evidence? Because no joke, because if that was opposite, if that was a recording of him sounding like that, would be like, oh my God, this guy hate women. But she was on the phone sounding like that, right? So it was like, well, you hate men? I don't think that's fair. I think she needs evidence. She needs to like substantiate what she's saying with some like tangible evidence to say, hey, this is what he's like, his anger coming from for women. Because he may be angry at you, don't like you, whatever, does not mean he hates women. Because I see that all the time on YouTube. I see that all the time on YouTube. On YouTube, a woman can say anything to a man. Anything to a man. If the man gives the women the same energy, no, he doesn't like women.
Might be because he wasn't.
I swear to God. Kat, you should, Kiddos, you should know that, man.
Protected. He was failed in every sense of the word and became the abuser. After he got married, which is apparently a really big thing in the Jehovah's Witness community, you can't have sex without, being married first. Him and his mentor apparently broke contact. And then, he lived a married life. Now, he told all of us that he was married just, for a year. He said he had to get married because he was a Jehovah's Witness, and boys and girls weren't allowed to have sex until they were married. If you were caught doing something you weren't supposed to do, apparently in this community, you might get disfellowshipped, which is everyone you know and love, everyone that's ever supported you, never talking to you again. It's like when the Amish excommunicates. Some of y'all freak out when your sneaky links and best friends don't call you ever again, right? Imagine everyone you ever knew. He and his ex-wife were disfellowshipped, and she only had him. And no other family members at a very young age. I've personally never witnessed any physical abuse. I've only witnessed yelling.
This is what I never liked about, like, I don't want to go on a religious rant. I always feel like all those organizations that literally just try to always say, I'm not going to go on a religious like rant. I'm going to set up for a different video.
Screaming, belittling. I think everybody in Jojo's life has begged him to work on his anger, begged him to work on, whatever demons he might have been, experiencing. When I asked how he was in the earlier years of all of this, it wasn't different. The anger, the manipulation, the lying, the pitting people against each other, it wasn't different. Some people don't change, they just get better at abusing. I don't know about y'all, but this made me want to deep dive into the whole Jehovah's Witness practice, because I'm not saying all are wrong, but I'm saying something ain't right. It's important to note that every time I said apparently, I meant allegedly. Everything I say is alleged. I think it's best to allow the alleged victim of the physical abuse to tell their story on their time, how they want. So next episode, we are going to detail the financial abuse, which is how Mojo Jojo affected me. As you can see, my mental health has suffered because of all this foolishness. And for that, I have been judged. But I'd like you all to know that I'm judging you back more severely than ever.
Okay, so that's episode 13. Let's go. Episode 13. Let's see if we have episode 14 here. Episode 14 going once, going twice. Episode 14. Got it.
Hello, my fellow crash outs, and thank you for watching episode 14 of Who the Did I Work For? Let's get to why this goofy man got on the internet and said that I was trying to extort him for $500,000. Here's some of the phone call between us.
One more question.
Yeah.
About just the 5 on this year. Like 250 now, 250 6 months.
So give me $500,000.
I'm gonna tell you this: if you take that money, you just put it in the stock market. In 4 years, you'll probably have more money. You know what I'm saying?
Nope, I don't know how to do stock markets. You don't.
You know what I'm saying? You'll just have it. You get what I'm saying? You'll have it.
Mojo Jojo called and
exploitation.
offered me $500,000 so that I would feel good about all those promises he made and lied about, right? So that he would finally make good on the things that come out of his mouth, but also so that I wouldn't tell about what he did to his ex-wife. I didn't know about what he did to his ex-wife until a couple of days ago. So he says I can't talk about it because he paid to get it expunged, but she can. Mojo Jojo has a history of lying, overpromising things that he cannot deliver, right? He talks about his skills. He can do everything right. Nobody does anything better than him. He doesn't need a team. He doesn't need to delegate anything. He's a one-man army. He's a machine. Mojo Jojo told me to buy thousands of products because we were going to sell it. And even if we didn't sell it on tour, it was okay because he has an email list with millions of subscribers. So he could sell $50,000, $60,000 worth of stuff in a click of a button like that. That was a lie. Not that he couldn't do it. He just wouldn't. Mojo Jojo would waste time purposely. Let's do Zoom meetings. And then he wouldn't say anything. He wouldn't explain anything. Come to Phoenix. I need to be in front of your computer in order to really understand what I'm doing. And and everything was just a lie. He likes to string you along because he knows that if he doesn't have anything on you, if he doesn't have anything that you're wanting from him, you're not going to speak to him. Just because genuinely he's he's insufferable to be around unless you're getting something. At the time, I'm a single mother. I just wanted to sell my merch and make my money back. But he didn't care. It was fine. I didn't say anything. I just said, I'll figure out a way. Then one day, Mojo Jojo calls me and says, hey, I want to take control of your merch. I want to take ownership of your merch. I think it'll really help you. You'll save some money. You won't have to lug it around. You won't need a crew. I told him no. I said, I have employees. I have everything down.
Again, this is the financial, I guess the financial thing that she's mentioning of what he did and how we got here. This is why she even started the financial abuse. That's the word I was looking for. So just the financial abuse, she's kind of like just itemizing.
Down. I know my inventory. I'm good because I figured it out on my own. And so from there, he decided to call me every single day. This is also about accountability on all parts for everybody, right? And accountability is one. Just because somebody says, you're my sister, you started this, you're so important, we really needed your followers, whatever, doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to make good on their promises. If it's not on a contract, it doesn't mean shit. I know a lot of people are like, well, duh. Well, yeah. Everybody wasn't literate, financially.
That's what you said, sassy girl.
Literate and business literate coming into it, right? And that's why you look for people that you can trust. But some people you just can't trust. He called me every single day. Mind you, I was in the process of moving. I needed to make this money back. I was going through a breakup, and every day I would tell him no. The answer is no. I didn't want him to take control of anything. I didn't want to be tied to him. I was getting myself out of debt. But yes, there was a weak moment in my life where after days of him bothering me, I said, fine, you can have the merch. Take control of it. And that was, again, a mistake. Message number whatever. Don't let somebody make you do anything that you don't want to do. If the answer is no, on God, it's no. He had messed me over so many times, and I had been in the hole because I trusted him. I was clawing my way out of debt and raising a son, and I don't appreciate being preyed on. So I start talking to people around that has been around him for 10 plus years. Like, what is up with him? Has he always been weird, or did this just happen? And everyone that's known him for 10 plus years said the same thing. He's a liar. Don't trust him. I'd never do real business with him, even though this whole thing is business. He manipulates. He's pushy. He's gonna get what he wants. Whether you knew him 10 years ago or you're just meeting him this year, everyone that has been around him says the same thing. Clock this, if everyone around a person says the same thing, it's not everyone, it's the person. Not all of us had a mentor that funded our lifestyle. I'm gonna wrap this one up. Stay tuned for part 2 of the financial abuse. For anyone who had a problem with me trying to stop potential abuse of little boys, remember Mojo Jojo is a mandated reporter. He's a nurse. So he shouldn't have a problem with that. I'm going to get back to the content that makes me giggle inside soon. I just wanted to let y'all know that this whole process was about what you could learn, right? Like, I appreciate everybody that supported me because support is real. And you don't have to steal or lie or manipulate to get it, but stay tuned for part 2. Hello, my fellow crash outs, and thank you for watching episode
14, part 15. What's part 15? Going once, going twice.
Good morning, my fellow crash outs, reporting for duty. Thank you. Oh, that's a bleach stain.
Part 14, I didn't take as much. I didn't say as much because I still don't hear financial. Like, I don't know. Leave a comment. What do you think of this whole like financial angle? I feel there's more to the story. I really feel there's more to the story.
So much for watching episode 15 of
Because financial abuse, right? He must have more direct control over like her finances. Maybe I may be wrong. That's what I'm saying. I'm just trying to. It's late at night, and I'm tired, but I'm thinking like there's a flawed logic to my way of thinking. But I would think it's financial abuse. Like he must have a more superior like role directing her finances, right? Yeah, I guess she did say she needed that merch, right, to sell, right? But again, I don't know what the contract says. Maybe the contract that says he's supposed to have the merch after a certain period of time or whatever the situation may be, right? Or the merch has to be located on his warehouse, something. I don't know. I don't have the contract in front of me, right? So that's why I need more detail. That's why it has to go with the interview. I like to like kind of go down to say, okay, well, if it's financial abuse, well, she's like, well, that's my only livelihood, right? Comes from selling those merch, right? And there's nowhere, it doesn't stipulate anywhere in the contract it says it has to be on his possession. It actually says it's supposed to be on my possession. Then I was okay, I understand what's going on now, but I'm not getting that. I'm not getting financial abuse. I hope that makes sense. Let me know what you in the comment sector, like if you agree or disagree with me. And if that was her boyfriend or her husband, right? He's the one working, and he's on like basically have like she has to go through all this like this mountain to like get any kind of money from him. Then I was okay. I understand that's financial abuse, right? I can get that part, right? But this is not the case here. They're not dating.
I'm sorry. A lot of you said, okay, Keita, we get it. Mojo Jojo is weird, but what about Shitty? What did Shitty do? So Mojo
exactly. Like I actually don't get he's weird. I really don't get that. I feel like someone like him who went a very traumatic life experience and some of the things like, except some women come out and say, okay, he's giving them like, I don't know, he's giving them like Hadoukens, right? Then also I got that, right? But I haven't seen anything yet like that. Am I missing something? Is some parts taken out? She did say, yeah, I guess she did say like some parts were clipped out, right? But I don't know. I guess she should have like just like addressed it.
JoJo does this thing that I now realize is triangulation, but before I just thought he was a bitch, just like gossiping. He does this thing where he tries to pit people against each other, so he'll call you and say, you know, such and such was talking shit. He likes it when women fight. The first woman he wanted me to go up against was Randy. He would call her, tell her I said shit I didn't say. He would call me and tell me she said shit she didn't say. And so we fought and made up because we were like, what the fuck is the problem? Like every time we're cool, I'm hearing you talking shit. And then that's when we realized, oh, okay, well, he's starting shit. Triangulation is a manipulative tactic in psychology where a third person is brought into a conflict between two people. So he would love being the center of the conflict, but there would be no conflict. So he would have to make up a conflict. He tried to do it with K-Love too. We were on stage and we disagreed about something. He went to me and said that like she was totally in the wrong and very aggressive when he watched back the footage. And I'm sure he's told her the same thing. And we had to like almost get into it, but we talked about it like women and realized there wasn't no issue. A lot of y'all keep seeing this woman talk shit about me. It's because when we were in the basement doing the pod, not the live show, he brought her in trying to start shit. He would constantly tell me, you're fat, you're fat, you're fat. So when he saw a woman making content downing other women, calling fat women fluffies and bragging about how she upset the fat bitches, yeah, he loved that. When she got there, Mojo Jojina said, she doesn't like you. She doesn't like bigger women. You're not going to like her. So I'm sure he told her, Kita's not going to like you. So there's already a lot of tension before the episode starts. He likes to start the tension so that the episode will be good. And that just happened to be the most watched episode on the app.
She made a good point. That's what I'm saying. It's like, if you do entertainment, and it's entertainment, what I'm doing right now, just like having a very lazy, just like barely talking too much, that's boring. People are gonna say that's boring. They want you to be like animated like her, like her, right? So what he's maybe trying to do is like get entertainment. Like just as you said, like people watch it when they feel there's some kind of like chemistry, either love or hate, something there, right? And it sounds like to me that's what he's doing. Like it sounds like he's good at his job. I'm not saying going behind people, but like in the beginning of the show, try to get you guys to be animated, right? To make this show entertainment. But that's what I feel like that's what you choose to do though. Like that's why I can never make this as a living, because I won't be good at it, because I'm more laid back and just more chill, right? As a fun thing to do, absolutely. As a living, like this is my livelihood, absolutely not. Definitely not entertainment. Not at all, because some days I want to be outgoing, right? Some days I just want to be mellow, right? But if you're doing entertainment, like it depends where you are, they want that energy constantly, and that's what he's trying to get out of you. That's what I'm getting from that.
On the app, because me and Randolph had to handle the bitch. Why? Because she thought she was being slick in person, and then the femininity coach, she teaches women how to be feminine, started bucking up and talking like this and saying bitch back. And we was all
entertainment.
Fighting. And I thought she was feminine, but she acted like a masculine hoe that day. A lot of you guys want me to react to the video where she's talking about us. No, we told her to her face. We thought she was a bitch, so there's no reason to go back and forth on the internet. She knows what I think about her. By the time Kitty had came in, me and Randy had already understood what was going on. He was triangulating. He needed to be the center of conflict. He didn't do the same thing with the men, because most men wouldn't be okay with that type of shit, you calling and gossiping. So he did it with the women. So when she came in, Kitty said he and his manager were saying things like, the girls are really jealous. Be careful. They're going to be so jealous of you because you speak better. You're so articulate. Things like that. So Mojo Jojo told me that he didn't really like her vibe. She was too stuck up. She was too full of herself. She was smart. She's pretty. She can sing. She's talented. But she wouldn't talk about sex on stage. And this is supposed to be live and uncut. Mojo Jojo would call each of us every day, every week. I don't know the exact times, but it'd be frequent to talk about each other and to stir up some stuff. She said this about you. She said this about you. She said this about you. And we all just... Even though we knew in the back of our minds what he was doing, it still put you in this like survival mode that was like, gotta fight everyone. And it was unnecessary. Now, how she talk on stage and how she talk in person, two different things. This is how she speaks to people.
I'm sitting over here crying over somebody that ain't claiming you. He ain't hitting you up and you boo-hooing. Girl, we outside. The men is outside. We out. Shit, stop crying. Let's go, bitch.
Yeah. I tried to explain to Kitty that they triangulate, that they're going to tell her things to upset her, to get her riled up, to make her not trust anybody. I told her that she's just going to have to stay focused. She understood. She understood all about narcissism. I said, as long as we stay strong, we can just continue the tour, continue the contract, and just do what we got to do. Things started feeling weird. I don't know how to explain it, but I basically didn't want much to do with either. Not because of them, but because of the whole situation. That's what happens when you create a toxic work environment. You don't want to be around the people that you work with. Mojo Jojo started getting tired of Randy. He didn't like that she was business-minded and telling all of us things like, hey, we should have equity in this. Hey, we kind of started this. What's going on? Randy was starting Let's Rant about it, and he was getting very upset. How dare she start another podcast? How dare she go work on her own stuff? She's probably going to steal all my ideas, even though he steals everyone's ideas.
Yeah, that's the entertainment business. Everyone steals idea. I would say, Katie Ross, her podcast, this thing looks lit. It looks professional. Look at this. Oh my goodness. This is camera's good, lighting is good.
I call him Mojo Jojo. You might
the bokeh, I wonder what f-stop. This is pretty low f-stop.
You might hear me reference him as Mojo Jojo or Mojo.
Look at the background. Look at focus, everything. And I think she has like multiple cams, or I'm not sure if they're cropping. I think it's one camera. They just crop in different angles. Okay, let's see.
Really feel, and y'all.
Okay, I was thinking maybe this is her studio. Oh, this is the pod studio. Do you guys know if this is like her personal studio? This looks legit. I like this. Maybe I should turn my basement. I should turn this room in the basement into like something like this, like a couch. Oh, that's a good idea. See, that's what I mean by stealing an idea. We all copy from each other. We all literally copy from each other. Like, I love the greeneries going on here, and just like they have this television. Oh, that's pretty sick. I like that. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should like have a couch and just be more relaxed and just like looking at the screen and this layout.
That I grew up in like years.
Yeah, I like that. So they have the music video playing. Okay, let's go.
Everyone's ideas. Mojo Jojo didn't want Randy there anymore. He didn't like her vibe. Kitty didn't want Randy there anymore, so she decided to just block her, just completely. She said the Lord told her to end that connection because Randy's spirit wasn't good. Hallelujah! I'm trying to keep everything around 5 minutes. He put her in debt, and me in debt. And so it was a mess, a smorgasbord of shit, if you will. What do you mean? I'll tell you what I mean. Follow my YouTube. Good morning, my fellow crash outs, reporting for duty. Thank you.
Okay, so that's episode 15. So it looks like she left the ticket to the talk in episode 15. So let's go to episode 16 on YouTube. Again, that's her YouTube channel. It's very good on Medicated and Educated, right? The podcast. Love the aesthetic. It looks amazing. And again, I'm an aesthetic guy. I'm an aesthetic guy because I feel like everything else is going to come later. But right now I'm focused on my aesthetic. I think it's almost where I want it to be. I'm probably gonna have a little more of probably a blackboard over here. So anyway, and maybe upgrade my camera. I'm not too sure about that because I like what my full frame camera is doing. But as you can see with her, like this is amazing, amazing.
I'm saying, but it's like I said.
So let's go back and let's see what episode are we on. Okay, episode number 16. Almost there. Oh wow, almost there. This is the last episode.
Did you pay Keita yet? Keita is not owed any money from Ace Metaphor tonight's conversation.
Well, that's disappointing.
That's the last.
Hello, my fellow crash outs, reporting for duty. Thank you for watching episode 16 up. One second.
Oh, I just realized I'm not subscribed to her on this channel. I have like several different YouTube channels, like my one that I use for my YouTube, what is it, YouTube Red or whatever? I'm getting tired, guys.
My story was taken away from me. Yeah. And now millions of people online know this perverted lie exaggeration.
Lie?
And my voice has been taken away from me, man.
And taking so long is because I moved. I'm in a new spot. I would show y'all the view, but I don't want y'all to triangulate with a
that reminds me, triangulation. Yes, that's where I left off. So after so many months of fighting, all of us, me, Randy, Kitty, I finally told Jojo to butt out. Stop calling me with drama. Stop calling me about what this person said and that person said, because it's making it very difficult to function on stage, right? We all have to come together and pretend to be,
Again, I'm talking about when I said to get them ready to entertain. I'm not talking about like on off stage, right? What she's referring to, like just triangulation, like basically having private phone call and spreading misinformation amongst like the team, right? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like at the stage to like get them to like to entertain again, because entertainment is a whole different ball game. It is not your regular 9 to 5 or sitting in the office. It's a whole different kind of ball game. When you want to get the people going, people like the drama. People love, if you guys are all getting along, look, singing "Kumbaya, my lord." They're gonna switch it up. They're gonna switch it up. If you guys talking about some orgies and how after the show you may do something with each other, I'm telling you, everyone is gonna watch it. That's how crazy entertainment is. Of course, I'm making this up, right? Slightly, right? But I'm not exaggerating. People love the drama.
United, but behind the scenes, we're all stabbing each other in the
I don't like the behind the scenes.
It's a toxic work environment, but he didn't want to seem to stop. It seemed like he got pleasure out of that type of pain. All the fighting, as you can imagine, caused a great rift. So I finally texted Kitty and I said, you know what? We're not aligning. It's always something. Even though we all know that it's Jojo, it's exhausting. So I don't want to be enemies. I don't want to beef, but I don't want to pretend to be friends. And that's when Kitty texted back like, hey, listen, I got to tell you something. We chopped it up on the phone and she let me know that Randy leaked my address. I know no one cares, but I have to protect my child. So I don't play about leaked addresses or personal information. She told me that Jojo put her in a lot of debt, $30,000 worth of debt. She had to pay $15,000 to a lawyer because her ex beat her up really badly. A gun went off. She ended up getting in trouble and catching a charge. And so she was under a lot of pressure. She also is the only one helping out her family, again, under a lot of pressure. So she told me that she didn't want anything to do with Randy, that the Lord told her that Randy was bad, and now she's revealed to me what Randy has done, so let's get Randy out. And that's exactly what we did. We told Ace that we didn't want to work with Randy, and she was gone. Jojo had already taken my audience without paying me for it. He called me every single day to take a hold of my merch, and then made it very difficult for me to sell it on tour, again, messing with my money. He pretended to invest or be interested in investing in shows, my show, to put on his app. Those investments fell through, again, messing with my money, so I understood where she was coming from. It made me want to help her. Me and Trippington were already sharing an Airbnb.
Okay, I think this is the financial abuse she was referring to, that she's finally like given like some some serious examples of like what occurred.
To save money because Mojo Jojo cut funding for hotel rental, flights, everything. He gave a very, 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 very small stipend, but it still wasn't enough. So since we were already doing that, I decided to, ask Kitty, was it cool if I shared this with Trip? She said it was fine. I talked to Trip. I'm like, hey, listen, all of us are going through it. Trip had been talked about the financial abuse he suffered by the hands of Mojo Jojo. So I'm like, let's come up with a plan. That plan got leaked to Mojo Jojo by no other than Kitty J. Rose. I'll give you more details on that a little later. Good news, guys. It seems I'm going on tour. Look, I'm going to New York, Houston, Dallas, Chicago, Atlanta. Only I'm not. Even though I'm not going to be at these cities here, please still support tonight's conversation. I don't want you guys to unfollow anybody because of me or stop supporting anybody because of me. But I'm not gonna be lied on.
And I'm gonna go and be careful, but and I have to say this, the reason I'm being careful is because we're now in litigation about certain things. Right. All right. But
we are? Not on my watch, we aren't. I didn't even know, you guys, about this supposed lawsuit against me until my lawyer let me know that the case, got dismissed. He said, your boy is mad. I'm sure. The case got dismissed. Maybe the judge found out it was foolishness and mayhem. In other news, I'm detailing.
To be fair, it says it's in the wrong court, so he can refile it again.
I had to move out the country. This was foolishness. Mayhemful. But I wanted to detail more of the story, and it's difficult to do it in such short form, and also my experience moving out of the country. And so if you want to
What? She moved out the country? Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have a part 2.
Things, please follow my YouTube. Even though Mojo Jojo has tried to strike down on my content on, all my platforms, I will not be silenced.
Oh my goodness. Okay, we went places. Let's see.
Did you pay Keita yet?
Keita. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we're gonna go back tomorrow. I'm gonna go live again tomorrow. I want to see let's address all the lies, shall we? Right, the video she made, this video here.
Make sure that it looked.
I'm gonna do a live reaction to that. Okay. Anyway, I love her aesthetic. The studio looks amazing. So whatever she's doing, it looks like it's working.
Nice for and app. And I look at, I'm just.
And I'm gonna go live to talk about this. Okay. So subscribe, like this video, and let's gonna have a part 2 to this address this tomorrow. Okay. Have a good evening. I am tired. And yeah, I want to make another video maybe tomorrow. I'm gonna do an upload because I want to play around with one of my cameras, and I always say I'm gonna make a documentary about certain things, and I just never had the time. I think this year I want to really start executing some of the things that I always wanted to try, and we're gonna try a lot of different things. A lot of different experiments is gonna be done with my live and also just my upload. Okay. And I want to embrace just not doing not just a reaction video. I want to do some more activities. I want to do some travel stuff. Okay. I want to do some finance. I want to talk about some crypto. I want to talk about something that I'm going to talk about later. Okay. But not now. I'm going to make a video to talk about that. Even a change of the name of the channel because I want it to be more inclusive in the context of what I'm going to be talking about. Okay. Not just light drama action. I just feel like it's one focus. I want to do a lot more. Okay. I used to go by the name Nomad Journey. I love that name, but maybe I should go back to that name. I really like that name. Anyway, thanks for your time, and yeah, just as I said, the next name change I'm gonna have is gonna be final. I'm not going back to anything else after this. Okay, and okay, thanks for your time. I'm going to bed. This was a good show today. There's a lot of mistakes that was made. I look forward to her addressing some of this stuff, and I want to see if she has that hindsight as 2020. She wishes she did some few things differently. I do wish she did few things differently, but we'll see. Okay. Thanks for your time, and I look forward to the next video. Peace.